In 2019, a California man went to a local hardware store called RG Equipment to pick up a chainsaw. He found a nice $400 model located in the showroom and decided to take it. But as you're about to see in the video, this is clearly not the legal way to do it. According to the store's owner, this theft was a team effort. He said 2 men walked into his hardware store. One man kept the employee distracted at the counter. Meanwhile, the second man seen here grabs a chainsaw and stuffs it down his pants. He then tries to cover the large handle with his jacket. But somehow it just didn't feel right. So he unzips his jacket to make the bulge less noticeable. Satisfied that he has the item secured, he left the showroom looking like he just gained a few pounds. Police said he then started walking out the store. His accomplice kept the employee occupied until he saw the man leave. He then followed closely behind, probably to block the view of the employee. The 2 men then fled the scene in a pickup truck. You can see that he actually did a pretty good job of concealing the bulky chainsaw. But the theft was still caught on security cameras. Police and local news outlets then released the video to the public. Imagine this guy's reaction when he saw himself on the local news. And just imagine someone who knows him seeing these images. With the HD quality videos today, it's pretty easy for viewers to recognize people they know. That includes friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors. But even worse, that would also include your enemies. Police were still looking for the suspect at the time of the report. But they probably caught him by now. In 2009, a burglar broke into a brownstone apartment in Manhattan while the occupants were on vacation. He managed to kick his way through a basement window. According to the building superintendent, the suspect found the keys to a first-floor apartment and let himself in. While inside, he was making a lot of noise which alerted the superintendent, who then called police. However, by the time they arrived, the man had left with a desktop computer and 2 cameras. But after officers left, the thief had the nerve to return later to steal more items. Remember, he still had the keys. And he probably would have gotten away had it not been for one huge mistake. Apparently he was thirsty and decided to grab a carton of orange juice from the fridge. After drinking the contents, he simply left the empty carton on the countertop. But that's not the only thing he left behind. The empty carton now had his DNA. This gave police enough evidence to locate the 20-year-old man who already had a record of 12 prior arrests. His previous charges included grand larceny and assault, as well as several charges of selling pot. So his information was already in the police database. The suspect was easily located and arrested. His bail was set at $15,000. Unfortunately, they were unable to recover the stolen items. The building superintendent said that they had not been burglarized since the 1980s. But times have changed, and after this incident, they decided to replace all the locks in the building. It probably wouldn't hurt to put the apartment keys in a more secure location as well. In a similar incident in 2013, a couple in Portland, Oregon came home to find their door open. A thief had ransacked the home and went through all of the drawers in the house. Items were scattered all over the floor. The husband then noticed a half-empty orange juice container lying in the sink. He gave it to a forensic agent who took the bottle and swabbed it. The sample was sent to the DNA testing unit at the Oregon State Crime Lab. Forensic scientists were then able to find a match. They later arrested a suspect who confessed to the crime. He even admitted to burglarizing the same home twice. In almost every case, forensic scientists are able to match the crime to the suspect. That's because most of these criminals are repeat offenders and already have an extensive record. For example, 2 burglars broke into a home in Southwest Oregon back in 2013. They stole silver ingots, collectible coins, electronics, and jewelry. But before leaving, they looked in the fridge and guess what they grabbed? You guessed it, a carton of orange juice. In this instance, both individuals drank from the same carton. They then left the empty container on the floor. That means police now had 2 DNA samples to work with. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office said that the State Police Crime Lab was able to get a DNA match on both suspects in an FBI database. Police discovered that one of the men was already in jail on an unrelated burglary. They were in the process of locating the other suspect. Unfortunately, the stolen items worth over $10,000 had not been recovered. Based on the previous stories, it would seem like orange juice is the beverage of choice for burglars. But it clearly isn't the only one. In 2008, a thief in Colorado was wanted for a string of burglaries in the Denver area. But like so many others, he got thirsty on the job and raided a victim's refrigerator. He then consumed a can of strawberry soda. The DNA samples he left behind led police to a 20-year-old suspect. They were able to link him to 5 burglaries. He's now serving a 20-year sentence. It's pretty clear that DNA analysis has been a game changer in law enforcement. Forensic testing used to take months at a cost of over $1,000. Now it can be done on some cases in less than a day for about $50. By using DNA, police are now 5 times more likely to identify a suspect than with fingerprints alone. In one instance, a thief was arrested after detectives found his DNA on a tuna sandwich. Another thief was caught after his DNA was found on a lollipop left at a crime scene. As you can see, DNA is solving so many crimes that people may actually start leaving treats out for burglars. In 2009, a man was out shopping at a Ziggy's building supply store in Spokane, Washington. He completed his purchase and left the store. However, he soon returned minutes later to search for an item he had lost. When he was unable to find it, he informed employees that he had accidentally dropped a package while he was at the counter. He then left his name and phone number for them to contact him if they find it. Well, an employee had already picked up the package just before he returned to the store. When they opened it, they saw what they suspected to be a small baggie of some kind of illegal drug. When they checked the video footage, they could see the man dropping the bag by the counter. Thus, they were able to confirm that he was the owner of the package they had just found. The store management then called police. An officer arrived and tested the drugs, which came back positive for methamphetamine. Since the man had given his contact information to the store, police were able to track him down at his home. They informed him that they had found his package, but that also meant he was now under arrest. Police said this was an easy arrest thanks to the video footage along with the man giving his contact information to employees. The 34-year-old suspect was booked into Spokane County Jail on one count of possession of a controlled substance. He's probably also wishing he had never returned for that package. On the other hand, police would probably love to see other criminals make this mistake.